Welcome, everyone. We're gonna be going through a little dry brushing and Abhyanga tutorial, which is why I'm in shorts and I'm in a tank top. Normally, if you're doing this, you could do this in a bathing suit. You could do this fully nude in the morning. If you're just doing the Abhyanga, the oil massage, you would do this either in the morning or at night. The dry brushing is definitely something that's very specific to the morning for the majority of us. So, a couple of things. If you feel like your vata is very high, or if you're feeling like things are already frenetic, if you're feeling like um, you're sort of all over the place, maybe don't try the dry brushing. Don't do the dry brushing just yet. It can be really stimulating. It can be really um, for me, it sometimes feels like I don't have to. Sometimes I drink coffee. Sometimes I feel like I just don't need coffee after I dry brush. So just be mindful that it has a very stimulating effect, gets things moving. And if you're all really feeling very stimulated, it might not be the best practice for you. Um, I also personally avoid dry brushing during Vata season, which is like the fall, winter. I hardly ever dry brush in the winter. Springtime, though, springtime's a really good time to dry brush because all of that stagnation that might have gotten, or that extra just kapha that might have gotten built up throughout the winter, it helps move things along. It helps get things moving and flowing. So I love it in the spring. And then oil massage. So I prepped my oil I boiled water and then just put that glass jar of oil in the water to warm it up. And you could do it that way. You can also definitely just run it under some hot water and it'll be just as good. You just want it warm if you can possibly get it warm. Abhyanga, so oil massage, personal oil massage. Well, Abhyanga does not mean personal oil massage, but I'm doing a personal oil massage, so personal Abhyanga. But some contraindications for Abhyanga, there's actually a few. And if you do have questions about it, just ask me. Just get in touch with me and we'll chat about it. In general, if you're sick, if you're on your period, if you're feeling really heavy, really weighed down, if you have any kind of congestion, probably don't want to do full body Abhyanga. If you feel like there's maybe something going on with the digestion, if the digestion feels really sluggish, maybe skip the full body Abhyanga. You can, in some cases, oil your feet, and you can, in some cases, really just zone in on different spots like the ears, and you can still get the benefits of Abhyanga without doing the full body. So lots of different ways to do this as well. And also, if you have any questions, if there's any questions about dry brushing or Abhyanga, just get in touch with me and I'll get answers right to you. Because these practices, right, it always depends. It depends on the person. It depends on what's going on in the person's life. It depends on really what's happening day to day. So with that said, if you are joining in Abhyanga, make sure you've got your oil. If you want to warm it up, you can go ahead and warm it up. If you are joining in with the dry brushing, we're actually going to start with that. If you don't have a dry brush, you can always use a washcloth, and it's really almost just as good. You could also do that if you're away somewhere and you forgot your dry brush. So I, in the morning, like to dry brush first, then oil massage, leave it on for a little bit, then shower. If it's the evening, I skip the dry brushing and I'll just do the oil massage. If it's full body, I leave it on for a bit, shower. If it's just my feet, then I just put it on my feet, and then I go to bed. I put some socks on, then I go to bed. Hey, if you are joining in on the dry brushing, you can do this standing, or you could totally do this seated. I'm gonna stand for just a little bit of this. That way you can get a look at what I'm doing just specifically with the body. So and you'll find dry brushes in all different shapes and sizes. This one just has a nice handle on it so I can get to my back. I have another one that is just sort of without a handle. I like to start with my feet. You'll see different ways to do this, different tutorials on this. I always suggest looking at different tutorials, hearing what different teachers, different practitioners have to say, and then pick what works for you. So yeah, I'll just start my feet. I'm standing while I'm doing this. Some mornings I'm wobbly. Right now, we'll see how it goes, but I'm just making circles on my feet. For the purpose of this video as well, I may be going just a little bit faster and I might not linger in too many spaces for too long. So what I did was circles on the feet. I'm doing circles on the feet. So I start with my feet and my hands actually. And if you have any jewelry on, you might want to take that jewelry off. And then from here, this practice could be as long or as short as you want it. It's long strokes on the long bones. And I'm just going up the leg. You may want to focus a little extra on the glutes. And remember, you would maybe be doing this in a bathing suit or nude, so you wouldn't be doing it over clothes. Some people like to make circles on the glutes, on the hips. There's a lot of lymph nodes right here too, so this is a lot about moving lymph. Right in the groin area, I do like to spend a little bit of extra time there, so stroking up towards the heart. And then just make sure you do the other side. I learned recently, and I hope I'm saying this correctly, that the space of the leg from the knee to the ankle is kind of like our second heart. So the circulation that happens down there is circulation that happens everywhere is really important, but it's almost just as important as the heart. So you keep that in mind. Then I'm just going up the leg. If you're doing this with a washcloth, you'll just be doing that with your hands. Same thing, you might want to make circles on the glutes or just start to keep the strokes going upwards. If you are able to really come towards the groin area and slide upwards, you can do that. And then from here on the belly, it's just strokes up towards the heart. So I'm trying to go towards the heart. And again, you'll see different things. You'll hear different things on this. Same with the back there. I'm just going up to the heart. Then the arms. You may want to spend some extra time down in the armpits. Whatever feels good for you. Right, so there's lymph nodes down in the armpits too. So I sometimes like to just be mindful of that and give them a little bit extra love. And from here, I don't really, the skin on the chest is pretty sensitive, so you might want to just be gentle with that. You could also skip that if you want to. Same with the neck and the back body as well. If you can't reach your back, that's okay. You might want to get a dry brush with a handle. So that's the dry brushing. For the Abhyanga, I'm going to sit. And if you were warming up the oil, if you're doing this along with me, go ahead and grab your oil. I am going to do my scalp. That's why my hair is down. And then I also have a towel laid out. So some safety for Abhyanga that's related to slipping is that you can slip. It gets things very, very oily. We're putting oil on the body. So you might want to use a towel that you're not too attached to because it will get oily. Be mindful about where you step afterwards. If you have a floor that's wood or tile, be mindful. You maybe want to put on a pair of socks. And then once you are done with this, you will shower off after a little bit of time. When you shower, use soap and then make sure you clean the shower floor. You were just using oil and that shower floor is going to get slippery if you don't take care of it. So this is just sesame oil. And I put a couple of essential oils in this that I personally like to use. You can use regular sesame oil. You can for sure purchase different types of massage oils that are unique to what it is that you like, what it is that you need. If you're not sure about what kind of oil to purchase or what would be best for you, again, get in touch with me. I can give you some suggestions on what to get. So I'm taking a lot of oil. If it's not warm, you could always just warm it up in your hands and then just oiling the feet. When you're doing this, I know that we're doing this through a little bit of a very scholarly tutorial, but it's really, really sweet to just start to acknowledge the different parts of your body. Maybe say thank you to your feet for getting you around all day. And just like with that dry brushing, I start with the feet. If I feel like I want a little bit more of a grounding Abhyanga experience, I'll start with the head and move down. So usually in the morning, I start with the feet and go up the body. In the evening, I start with the head and then I work down. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to massage my feet. Any foot massage feels good to me. So I'm always grateful just to be giving my feet a little bit of attention. And I feel like they're grateful when they get a little bit of attention. And now I'm just doing circles. Circles on the ankles. Circles on the ankles. You might notice I'm going a little faster with that. I have really creaky, cracky ankles, so my ankles need this. And you may be using a lot more oil than me, you may be using a little less oil than me. Whatever you're doing is perfect. From there, I am now going up the leg. I'm using both hands to make these long strokes on the shin. While I'm here, I'm going to just go ahead and circle on the knee. My general rule is circles on the joints, long strokes on the long bones. And depending on how you feel, right? Every morning might be different, every night might be different, every time you do this might be different. I like to give the part of my body attention until I feel a little bit of heat, and then I'll move on. And then I'm just going to do the other side. Once again, I encourage you to watch videos and other tutorials on this. You might see some practitioners going really, really quick. You might see some going really slow. And it depends on what it is that you are seeking. So right there, I was just doing long strokes, circles, and then up the thigh with long strokes. Same thing on the other side. You may be putting more oil on at this point. And working up the body. So I do have shorts on, so I'm not going to put oil over my shorts, but you would then pay attention to the hip. If you are wearing shorts or a bathing suit, you can get in there if you want, just making circles on the hip, and then even around the glutes, right? Hip, the glutes. You can get into the groin area, right where like the thigh and the groin meet, really. And then from here, the belly is a pretty important one. Before we do that, though, the low back. You bring your hands to your low back and make some circles that way. You might do circles. You might move up and down. And that'll be until, I'm doing that until I feel some heat there. With the belly, warm up that oil and then start somewhere. But the way I usually remember this is I start at the bottom left, circle to the bottom right, top left, and in a circle. Bottom left, bottom right, top left. And then I do that circling like that. So circling on the belly. And then if you didn't already do this, if you felt very compelled to just go in your own direction, that's okay too. The wrists. A lot of people have very sensitive wrists. A lot of old wrist injuries sometimes act up, usually because there's a lot of vata that's happening. So circles on the wrist. And same thing, I'm doing the long strokes, long bone circles on the elbows, long strokes up the top of the arm. And with the oil, so I get a big jar of, I usually will use sesame oil. I get a big jar of it. And then I just fill up this little glass bottle and I use it that way, especially during the season that I'm doing Abhyanga a lot. With the shoulders, circles on the shoulders. For some of you, this might take you a lot longer. You might take almost double the time that I did. For some of you, it might be a little bit less time. Whatever you do to make it not feel like it's a chore, it should feel, you want it to feel like it's something just really lovely. I'm doing the back of my neck and my upper back. If you can't reach that way, that's okay. The armpits. Okay, so the face. The face, lots of different ways to massage the face. With the face, you can just take the oil, and I like to just softly put it on my face. Then I start taking my hands, I cup them like a Barbie doll, and start with the chin and just softly slide up. Sometimes here I'll just come down the neck, and then I take my hands, put them right by the lips, and just pull away from the center. And then go up a little towards the nose, giving the sinuses a little bit of love, pulling away from the center. And then up to the forehead. The ears, behind the ears, massaging behind the ears, the ear lobes. If you are doing your head, you may just give yourself a little scalp massage with whatever's on your hands. I'm doing a little bit of extra, just massaging the head. There's also different oils. If you do feel like you need a scalp massage pretty frequently, there are different oils that are specific to the scalp that you can definitely check out as well. Because I've got long-ish hair, I'm putting a little bit at the tips of my hair. And then if you do want to linger anywhere, if you do want to return anywhere else on the body that we maybe didn't spend too much time on, you can for sure just give that area a little bit of extra love. And for today, whether you did this with us, whether you followed along with me or not, wherever you may be, if you're able to, close your eyes and just start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. The word sneha in Sanskrit means both oil and love. So when we're working with oil, especially when we're putting oil on our body, it's like we're immersing ourselves in love. It's like we're allowing love to really penetrate all of the tissues. That's a really beautiful truth that I like to sit with whenever I practice Abhyanga. So for the next maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 20 minutes, if you've got the oil on, you can leave it on. You might put a towel over you and then go ahead and do what you've got to do for the morning. If it's evening when you're doing this, same thing. You can leave it on that same amount of time, do what you've got to do. Different practitioners, I've heard a couple of different things about the oil, about leaving the oil on. and how to wash it off. In the classical texts, it's said to wash the oil off. So when I get in the shower, I'm actually going to use just a little bit of soap and gently rinse it off. I'm not scrubbing the oil off. I'm not obsessively trying to make myself feel extremely dry when I get in the shower. You will feel like you're moisturized because the oil, if you've given it time to penetrate into the skin, into the layers of the skin, into the tissues, even if you use soap, the soap will is not going to wash off all the benefits that you just, all the beautiful nourishment that you just put into your skin, because you've given it time to actually penetrate into the skin. So that's what the classical texts say. And then I have heard, and I've been advised by certain practitioners to just use soap on the places of the body that have hair. If you look at it that way, oh, everywhere on your body has hair, right? I mean, the scalp, a lot of us, some of us shave, but lots of places in the body have hair. So you could take that with wherever you want to go with it. For your hair, for the scalp, for your scalp itself, take shampoo first. Shampoo, and then water, then rinse. Then you might have to shampoo again, depending on how much oil you used in your hair and just how you feel afterwards. So the hair might be the one thing that you might have to just wash twice. And again, shampoo first, then water. Because when oil and water mix, the water won't get the oil out. Safety tip for the bathroom: if you live with people, just make sure that you let them know that you've done an oil massage and the bathtub, the shower might be oily, and be careful. Make sure you just rinse it off, give it a rinse, clean it off, and that can be really helpful as well. For the time that you're leaving the oil on, you might just do some light movement, maybe just some standing stretches, moving around. If you live somewhere where it's warm out right now, you may just go outside for a little walk. You could put on like a bathrobe or a towel, a bathing suit, and walk around the yard, or just go hang out in the sun. But apart from that, this practice can be done. You could do it daily. You could do it every evening. You can just massage the feet. You can just massage the head. There's different protocols for all of this stuff, but in general, the feet are usually pretty good go. For most people, that's usually an always okay thing to do. For full body Abhyanga, there are some contraindications, so if you do have any questions about that, just get in touch with me, and I'll give you a little info on that. I'll also provide some text with this video if you haven't already seen it, on some contraindications and what to do and what not to do. So once again, if you're able to, close your eyes if they've opened, and then take a big breath in through your nose. Take the biggest breath in that you've taken in throughout this whole session so far. Exhale your breath away. Take your palms and just bring them somewhere on your body that's calling to you. Maybe a place that could use a little bit more love, a place that could use a little bit more attention. And then take another big breath in, just thanking yourself for being here. Exhale your breath away. And thank you so much for being here. If you do have questions, I know I said this a million times now, but if you do have questions, just get in touch with me, and I will see you again soon.